Jonathan Davis is an economist and wealth advisor. Perhaps you can help me even more with pensions. Jonathan, good morning, sir.
Hello, Andrew.
Hello. I feel like knocking these two people's heads together, but also tons of others as well. We've been hearing about this NHS doctor exodus for donkey's years, haven't we?
I guess so. I don't actually know the numbers there. You're actually telling me something relatively new.
Really?
All I'd heard for the last couple of years is that there were more people working in the NHS than ever.
Well, okay, well, when it comes to top doctors and consultants and all the rest of it, doctors, they're given a lifetime tax on their pensions. They're subject to taxes when they make payments that exceed it, and that sends thousands into early retirement. Nearly 7 in 10 surgeons said in a recent poll that they'd reduced their NHS workload as a result.
Well, and no doubt they've increased their private work. You're absolutely correct.
Not necessarily.
Yeah, well, we know doctors, they're just as money hungry as anyone. The lifetime allowance that you're talking about, for your listeners' understanding, is that once your pension, all pensions that you hold, get up to currently £1,073,000.
And 100.
It was £1 million a couple of years ago. It goes up by inflation, as it were.
Well, it was 1.8 4 or 5 years ago. It was 1.8 million. It's come down under a Conservative government.
It was 1.8 10 years ago. They reduced it, and then when it got down to $1 million, they said they would increase it now by the CPI, by consumer inflation. Once it gets to that level, then up to that level, you're taxed as normal income. Above that level, then you've got a very high increase in taxes for anything you withdraw from your pension. So, of course, you will stop funding your pension once you get close to £1 million. And, you know, a lot of people will be thinking, £1 million, that's an enormous pension. Well, basically, it's £50,000 a year, give or take.
Doctors cannot opt out of paying into their NHS pensions, even if they've already reached that cap. They cannot, at the moment, opt out of paying into their pensions, so it's costing them money, so they're not working and they're thinking about leaving. Anyway, there's one element.
Yeah.
Now, what are you seeing? Sunak or Truss? What are you seeing? Who's got the answers for you in your particular line of work as an economist and wealth advisor? Who looks most impressive to you?
Well, I'm going to talk frankly as ever with you, Andrew. I think that's a joke question because the implication is that one of them gives a damn. The implication is that any of our leading politicians in the United Kingdom from the major parties cares about the cost of living. Of course,
so are you saying they don't care about the cost? Why would you say that?
Because they all have a hand in creating the situation where we are. Let me give you one example. Over the last 10 or 15 years, there's been a general consensus between all the politicians and indeed the media that the oil and gas companies should not find oil and gas and produce it. So inevitably, post lockup, I don't call it lockdown, it was imprisonment, post lockup, when demand for energy soared, we didn't have enough. So inevitably, Economics 101, the price of oil and gas soared. Each of the politicians that you could imagine voted for that policy. I remember distinctly Rishi Sunak in the March 2021 budget when he was throwing tens, hundreds even, of billions of pounds at the nonsense green agenda, and the media and every politician raved about this wonderful growth-oriented budget.
Right.
I was that day.
Okay. Well, I'll take it as a you're not impressed then, Jonathan. Thanks for your time this morning. Jonathan Davis is an economist and wealth advisor. Unimpressed.